Hey guys, Tanya Cardwell here, Pavlov Dog Training. I want to broach a subject that is brought up almost every day with pet dog trainers, and that is, how do you get your dog to start jumping? Jumping is one of those behaviors that in my head is one of the easiest to nip in the bud. It seems really basic. However, it's my impression that there's a lot of misinformation out there and a lot of information that requires way more effort and time than is really necessary. First thing that I want you to do is correct the dog. Correct your dog. Follow every jump with some kind of meaningful consequence that your dog is simply not a fan of. Most dogs, I start out by simply spraying compressed air, canned air. It just makes a hiss, almost like if you're filling up your bike tire, it makes that psh, that sound. I'm not sure if you've ever noticed, but if you're ever filling up your bike tire in front of your dogs, they will disappear. By the time you're done filling up your bike tires, they won't be around because they don't, it's the hissing sound, it's an audioversive that they're just not fans of. So when you do this, be strategic. Hide the compressed air somewhere on your person. It can be in your pocket, it can be in a hoodie. Wait for the dog to jump. And the moment, utopian time frame for intervening is actually going to be that moment where the dog braces herself, shifts her weight down before she uses that as momentum to hoist herself up. So usually the earlier in the sequence you can predict it and the quicker you can nip that in the bud, usually the better. So what you want to do is she jumps, I want you to say N-O, which I'm not saying only because I'm in my Mini Cooper with 2 dogs right now. I don't want to neutralize the meaning, but you want to say N-O and then immediately spray. The other common mistake is failing to give the dog a few minutes to mentally absorb the correction. So if your dog stops jumping and then immediately puts 4 feet on the ground, it's really common dog trainer tip to reward and reinforce that polite behavior. I am not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of immediately going into a reinforce or a reward. Reason being is that in order for that correction to be effective, it's almost like it needs a couple of minutes to process, to download, to saturate the brain, to register what went on. If you jump right away to asking a command or right away to petting, it's almost like you inadvertently neutralize that correction. It's like you downgrade its meaning. You want to make sure that you only introduce an incompatible behavior after the jumping is fully extinguished. Usually I don't start asking an incompatible behavior until at least about a week of insisting on no jumping. A week, if you're doing the right thing and the correction is meaningful, then you should notice that your dog gets into a calmer headspace in those situations where usually he would jump. So once he sits, once he downs, even then, give him praise, give him light, calm praise. Don't be super animated, don't give a big bear hug. Reason being is if your dog's already in this slightly like high energy, frenetic space where usually he would jump on you, if you overstimulate, it could inadvertently encourage him to jump again, which really only sets you up to correct again. And in a utopian situation, we would have fewer corrections, but more effective ones. Hopefully that's helpful for you guys. If you have any thoughts, reach out and have yourself a good day.